Hi there.
How are you?
Good, good. I'm Thurston, by the way.
Hi, Thurston. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, Paul.
Thurston Berkeley.
That's right.
It's nice to put a name to the face,
There you go.
or a face to the name. I'm not sure which
There
one
you
is
go.
better. We got Joe back there. He's working out. We got Brian Butters on. That's amazing. Welcome, Brian. So I got a question for everybody. Go ahead, Paige.
Just reminding everyone that they start unmuted and you'll just need to unmute yourself if you guys are going to talk. Just a reminder.
Okay.
We got about 3 minutes here. Does anybody have any preliminary questions? Hi, Monty.
Nope, we're all good.
We appreciate everybody participating in this fantastic webinar. Our goal with this webinar is to find out what you prefer in shoes, but more importantly is to help others, filter through all the information that's out there on the internet just by static information. To hear directly from you, the consumer, and what you like about the shoes and what you like about them, and why you chose them. And it could be for anything. It could be various reasons. It could be just on price. I really don't care. Or I'm a great person who loves technical stuff. Different brands for different reasons, the way they fit on your feet. Some of us each of us are unique with our feet. I know that I am. Some of us have higher insteps. We need more arch support. So we try to find shoes to solve those various problems. And especially sometimes that problem could be stemmed up into the knee area, especially in the meniscus. We're looking for extreme comfort. So we look forward to hearing everybody's perspectives. This is fantastic. I'm glad you guys are. I'm really honored and thrilled that you guys are all part of it. We got Liz Mick on here. We got Vince Boschman. Got Peter's on here. Peter Schaaf, is that it? Peter, is that you?
Schaaf.
Schaaf.
Like shirt, but you do
Schaaf.
shirts, but with an F instead of the T.
Schaaf.
There you go. That was easy.
Love it.
You didn't screw that one up.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Well, one out of
Paul,
100. Go ahead.
Well, I see you have a Tennessee shirt on. Is that a Tennessee shirt?
Some refer to it as a Tennessee shirt. Yes.
My daughter swam at Tennessee.
No way.
Yeah.
I love orange. They say orange is the color of insanity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Or Tennessee, whichever one you prefer.
Yeah. Go Vols.
All right. So we got pretty much everybody here. So let's kick it off. Where's Brian? Let's kick it off with Brian. I got Brian first on the list here.
Okay. What would you like to know, Paul?
Brian, yeah, you got to share with us what's your favorite shoe, why you like it, and how that information can be beneficial to other consumers. I know that you have all kinds of brands. You have a cross section of brands.
I do. In fact, I've got so many pairs of shoes that my friends at my golf club call me Emelda. It's a little bit embarrassing, actually, but the deals that Golf Anything provides are so amazing in terms of price that it's very hard to resist, especially if you're susceptible like me to want to get a variety of different types of shoes. But I brought a couple of my favorites just to show you folks. One here is the Adidas Tour 360. Got that earlier this year. Wonderful shoe, extremely comfortable. The Boost midsole is what really makes this product for me so tremendously comfortable. Also provides a really stable platform. Good spikes here. I do still like plastic spikes in my shoes. Good selection for color and various other things like that. Absolute comfort, which to me is critical in order to enjoy a 4-hour round of golf, which I always walk. I don't ride carts, and
Oh, wow.
So shoe comfort is really important. So that's one, Paul. The other one that I'm going to show you here is the Duca del Cosma line, which you brought in, I know, earlier this year for the first time from Italy. I wear this shoe virtually every day for walking, just in casual settings. I've used it on the golf course as well, and I like it there, but I still use it primarily for non-golf purposes. Again, great structure, tremendously comfortable. The price was good as far as I was concerned, and I'd highly recommend it to anybody looking for a good product online. And the other benefit for me is, being a preferred member for a relatively low price point, I get free shipping on all my orders through Golf Anything, and as far as I'm concerned, 2 orders pays for that preferred membership, and I'll do it every year.
Wonderful. Well, that's great insight. Like those Tour 360 22s is the shoe that I typically go to as well. And I just recently tried the Rebel Cross here, but I'll talk about that later. But anyway, that's fantastic. Thank you, Brian.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Next on because we have like 25 people, so we're going to try to keep it about 2 to 3 minutes a person if we can. Elizabeth, you're on deck.
Oh, hey guys, I'm in North Carolina. I have about 15 more pairs of golf shoes downstairs in the golf cart room that I have purchased from you guys. I'm sure you've got a record of it. But my all-time favorites are these Adidas shoes that I no longer can get. If you could find some more of them, I would buy them.
That's the Climate Cool shoe.
Yes, it is. It is so comfortable. You can wear it with socks, without socks. It weighs nothing. And I will tell you, they are very durable. If you can see that sole on that one, I got hit by a golf cart last year at Pinehurst.
No way.
Yeah. And the lady ran over me. And as my foot is sliding along the pavement, it shredded the sole, but it did not completely tear it up. So the shoes are still in the rotation. I've got Echoes downstairs. I've got several of the fancier Footjoys. The ones that look like wingtips that are silver. Yeah, those are really good shoes. But my go-to shoes day in, day out are these.
The Climate Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of a knitted top, really soft and comfortable.
Yes, very much so.
Well, that's wonderful.
Room for your toes to wiggle around in there. They're not too tight in the toe box.
That's interesting. It's amazing how the difference of people that prefer something that's really structured, gives you great stability versus something that's just total comfort. That's awesome.
I love them. I wish you could get them again.
There's a lot more stuff coming. We have a lot coming. We have Nikes coming in next week.
Okay.
That'll be very similar to that. It's kind of a knitted shoe, so that'll be a good. Wow, wonderful. Thank you, Elizabeth. I appreciate it. Glenn, how about where's Glenn Ford? Is he on?
I'm here.
There you are, Glenn. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. You got an interesting collection of shoes.
Yeah, you should see. I have quite the collection on my own, but I've been a big proponent of your website. I've shared it with friends, and a very good friend of mine he also orders the shoes through there. And I've kind of always gone to the Tour 360s, the Adidas ones, and I've always loved them for probably as long as I can remember. I've got to have probably about 8 or 9 pairs over the years, and I really love not only the look of them. I think they're extremely comfortable. I like them with spikes. I like them without spikes. I really like the colorways that are offered out in them, and I'm kind of a sneakerhead, and I've really landed on the Adidas, the Tour 360s, as my footwear of choice. And like Brian mentioned earlier, the price point is amazing. The free shipping, the ease at which I can return things has been awesome through Golf Anything, and I will continue to keep ordering and keep renewing my premium subscription. And as long as you guys bring in the right stuff, I will always buy them through you. I think your price point's amazing, actually.
Well, thanks. Listen, thanks. I paid everybody for these shameless plugs for the company, but I do have a question for you, Glenn. You have the Tour 360 XTs, the previous version of that shoe.
Yes.
So there, Glenn.
Yep.
So you have the older version, and then this is the new version of it. Because I have them both as well. How did you like the new one versus the old one?
I really love the old ones. If I'm 100% honest, I think the new ones are really good as well. I find them a bit wider in the back, like the base of the shoe. Yes. I think is really increased, and I don't hate that, but they're just the comfort and the stability of them. I like a more of a structured shoe. I've always been a white shoe, structured traditional golf shoe type, and I like those. They're both great shoes. I found that I think these are a little bit more comfortable in the heel, particularly around the Achilles, just the top part of that. I know that previous versions I've kind of worn through just the inside the heel. It used to be a material, and it kind of wore through very easily. So now that these ones are leather, I find that they're much more durable and great stability and comfort, and it's that part is definitely better for me.
That's wonderful. That's fantastic. So I did notice that the new ones in the heel, they're a little bit more rigid around on the back of the ankle. So for me, there was just a little bit of friction, and I had to use like a Band-Aid to prevent it getting bad. But now it's okay.
Actually, no, these ones were in really nicely for me. I didn't. I was kind of aware of that through some of the other shoes that I bought, but it was a week or 1 or 2 rounds where I had to do that. But I did not have to do that with this newer shoe, and the fact that they're really, really current. I think that's another thing is the tour pros are wearing them right now, and we can get them from your website. So I love it.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing that, Glenn. Pablo, you're on deck. You there, Pablo? How about Calvin?
Yeah, hi everybody. I'm Cal. I beg your pardon?
Calvin, go ahead. Fire away.
Okay, hi. I'm Calvin. I'm coming from Vancouver in Canada. So how's everybody? So a couple of things I wanted to contribute. I think I haven't heard I've heard all the comments, and some of the key things I wanted to just jump to is wide feet. That's me. I need wide fit, and also kind of the weatherproofness. So living in Vancouver, there's a lot of rain and kind of Asian genetics. I have wide feet. So I've tried a lot of shoes. There are, E's and 2E's and 4E's. So in terms of, I just want to point out that sometimes even when a manufacturer says 2E, it may not be, it just may not be a fit. So I have anything ranging from, Footjoys. These are wide. These are kind of 2E's. I have Echoes, which are actually not wide, but Echoes have wider toe boxes. So I found that I have 4 pairs of Echoes that I love, and I've got them from you as well, Paul. So thanks for stocking Echoes. And same with my partner, wearing Echoes. Also recently, the Adidas that I got from you with the BOA. So these are wide fit. I've got 2 pairs. I've got the ones with the cleats. I've got a white pair that are with just the uncleated, just the rubber sole. So they're awesome. And then, other shoes that other brands, I even have a pair of New Balance, because New Balance, they have notoriously good fitting shoes for runners and everything. So the other comment was weatherproofness. So Gore-Tex, for example, is really important. So these Echoes are Gore-Tex. I absolutely have to live by them with morning dew and just, rainy weather and on the West Coast. I played around walking and banding, and, if I didn't have Gore-Tex shoes, I mean, everybody else was just suffering. So it's really important to have that waterproof membrane, in my opinion.
Right.
So in general, I like cleated, but depending on, conditions and where I'm playing, just for comfort for walking, I walk a lot. So I'm heading down to Chambers Bay in a few days, and I know, walking only, right? There's very hilly kind of courses. So I'm going to pick a shoe that's fit for purpose. And and then that's kind of my go-to is fit for purpose. Is it wet? Am I walking? Do I want to look good? I think Elizabeth said, kind of something fancy with, like the Footjoys to me are kind of my fancy shoes. So kind of in that, line of thinking, I hope that helps.
It does. So that has been a big concern about having like wide fitting shoes, and New Balance has done a good job of it. Footjoy does a really good job of it. The Echoes 100%, because they do have the wider toe box, and I'm starting to notice that more of the shoes are having wider toe boxes. Even the Tour 360 22s do have a wider toe box, similar to the Echoes, which was nice, because now there's a big push on using your feet to activate the ground force and so on. So they want more space between your toes. So that's fantastic insight for people that need wider fitting shoes. Thanks for sharing that. Appreciate that, Calvin. That's awesome. And another fellow Canadian. Love it. All right. Let's do it. Warren, you're up. You're on screen. Take it away.
Thanks, Paul. Here it is. If you can see it, it's the Code Chaos Adidas. I think it was the EE911 model. It's got the Boost insole. Someone talked about that earlier. Great comfort and construction. I think one of the things, obviously, depending on the conditions you play, has been mentioned. I'm from Toronto, but I do play in Florida, and had the chance to play in all sorts of weather conditions, horizontal rain and typhoons, or whatever you want to call them. But walking or taking a cart, for example, I do a lot of walking. I bought this last fall, so this is last year's model. I've probably golfed about 50 rounds, and it's really holding up well. The waterproof feature is obviously really key. The comfort of these shoes is quite something. I was really impressed with that, and because I do a lot of walking, the conditions you play in, I think, should dictate what sort of qualities you're looking for, if you will. And it's certainly holding up well. I think one key difference too to look at, even though you obviously have great pricing on these shoes is a thing. I did watch your YouTube video on the blemishes on the Footjoy shoes that you just recently did. I'm a strong believer in paying for quality, and I look at like a cost per wear more than anything, right? You can definitely buy cheaper shoes or whatever, but they won't last as long. And my perspective is cost per wear. If I'm doing 50 rounds, and this will easily go in our 50 rounds, it won't be a problem. It more than pays for itself. So I think that's the benefit, obviously, being preferred member, in addition to your pricing and the fact that you carry a great line. So I am interested in looking at the Footjoy ones. I know you've got them on now, but that's probably another shoe. I've had them before. They're very comfortable, but obviously comfort to me was really important because of the walking I do. But great shoe and great product. Very happy.
That's wonderful. Well, Warren, thanks for sharing that. It's so important. Like those shoes there, that Boost technology is just unreal. It's proprietary to Adidas, and that energy return system that was designed just for comfort. It's indescribable until you actually put it on your shoe, on your foot. I mean, well, thanks for sharing that. I really appreciate that, Warren.
Good, thanks.
Monty.
Hey, Paul, I know you didn't ask us to talk about shirts, but I'm wearing one of those Donald Ross shirts that I get from you. Those things are awesome.
I think a lot of people are. I mean, like Donald Ross.
I don't wear much of anything else. I wear them to work. They're great. So if you can see that, I'm showing you a Footjoy Flex. And this shoe is a spikeless shoe, and you know, interestingly, I was having some foot issues, and I Googled, you know, good golf shoes for people with foot challenges, and that was one of the ones that came up. The price point was really good. I think I paid $90 for them, something like that, maybe. But they've been great. Very comfortable, very lightweight. I've had them probably a couple of years now, and I've just really enjoyed the shoes. And I get nice comments on them from my buddies. When I first got them, they noticed and really liked the shoe and how they look. So I've really enjoyed those shoes.
That's fun.
The second one I will show you is the Footjoy Tradition, and that's a spike shoe. I am really pretty old school when it comes to fashion. I still prefer pleated pants, as a matter of fact. So I was originally attracted to this shoe because of the, you know, traditional saddle Oxford, you know, type of style, but the sole's also, you know, a little, you know, more modern, I guess I would say, and it also is a very, very comfortable shoe, very lightweight, and I walk as well, so that's, you know, important that I'm, you know, able to wear something that is can get me around 18 holes and, you know, not have hurting feet when I'm done. So
right.
But those two I've really enjoyed.
Well, it seems to be kind of ubiquitous with everybody that so far comfort is a big component.
It's number one for me. It is absolutely number one. You know, spike versus spikeless, I really don't care. You know, as long as, you know, and I play mostly in dry conditions. In the wintertime when we play here in North Carolina, it can be wet, but I've got an old pair of Footjoys that are so waterproof that I wear when it's, you know, kind of really, really wet. So
that's fantastic. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. Thurston, you're on deck.
Okay, hi Paul. Okay, so for me, priority is actually a shoe that will guarantee a one putt, and even golf anything won't do that for me. So next in line is next in line would be actually style and looks. For me, that is the most important. If it looks good, then I will look at the comfort. But if something is really comfortable but looks awful, then I won't look at it at all. So for me, the look is the most important. So this one I recently bought from you, the Cosima one, and it's great. I've had it a couple of months, and like the last person who talked about them, I wear them everywhere. So at home, on the street, on the golf course, they are heavier than a typical golf shoe. They are sturdy, and the toe isn't as wide as other golf shoes. So people need to be aware of that. But it's still really comfortable, and that's my favorite at the moment. At the other end, one that I've had for a number of years and is just really comfortable is the basic Echo shoe. I've had this for a few years, as you can see by the shape of it, but it's still great, extremely comfortable. And again, I wear that on the street as well. And then a third one, just for style, which you don't sell. I actually got this at Cole Haan, but it's a great looking shoe. So the camo style shoe, but it's a really comfortable shoe and lightweight as well. I think you'll see with all of those spikeless for me is the way to go. I like the lightness of the spikeless shoes, the versatility. You can wear them on the street, you can wear them out, you can wear them at home. And the other thing is, for me, a high arch is important, and all of these ones have a high arch. So I don't need to wear orthotics with them or anything like that. I can wear them straight out of the box. And so that's been really good as well. And that's it. Right.
Yeah, those Duca de Cosmo shoes are just they're amazing for an Italian company. The passion that they have to create them. They're not widely known here in North America, but we're going to see if we can change that. I'm glad to hear that they've worked out well for you. As a crossover shoe, wear them every day. Yeah. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Thurston.
Thank you.
Alex, you're on deck.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Paul, for inviting me to participate. I have here my Footjoy Pro SL spikeless model. And the reason I wear Footjoy is because I have a very wide foot. And I find that in terms of comfort, they're one of the few manufacturers that has an extra wide sizing. New Balance also works for me because of their extra wide sizing. So one of the complaints I have, and I must say, Paul, I've emailed you about this, and which is that I hope that in the future, you and other retailers of golf shoes will list the width as one of the filter options. Because often what happens is you'll obviously have the size, male or female, cleats or no cleats, those kinds of things. But I can only wear a very wide shoe, and I end up spending 15 minutes looking at 4 or 5 different little pictures of golf shoes, hoping to find extra wide, even in my size, because size is always one of your filter options, only to find out that there are no extra wides. So it would, I think, be both a very good selling point, and it would be customer friendly if you would make width one of your filter options, which is not currently the case.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that, Alex. Our website is under revision right now as we speak, and that's one of the things that we're going to be adding into the filter system.
Good. Just one other feature, Paul, which is, I know that for most people on this call who are avid golfers, price probably isn't a major consideration. I live in Connecticut. I play 4 times a week. And the reason why price matters to me is I want to have several pairs of shoes for golf so I can switch them after each outing so that I don't end up wearing the same pair 3 days in a row or something. And therefore being able to have 2 or 3, even 3 pair that I can switch out when I play 4 rounds a week means that price does come into my consideration. So that's another factor. And obviously the Golf Anything website is one of the key places to look for very good bargains on golf apparel and shoes. And I appreciate the high quality of your offerings. And let me say, I also appreciate, Paul, your customer service. I think you guys are very diligent getting back to inquiries and correcting any errors and clarifying information. So I appreciate this website very much.
Oh, thank you very much, Alex. I appreciate that. That Pro SL is an amazing shoe. It's probably in 2020. That was in 2019. That was the #1 shoe used by professional golfers on the PGA Tour that were Footjoy sponsored. That was the #1 shoe they were wearing. Everybody was wearing.
Well, I'm still waiting for a call from Jay Monahan, so we'll see.
Me too. Me too.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks for sharing, Alex. And Alex, #2, you're up.
All right. That must be me. Paul, I'm one of the people who are more or less local to you, and I used to patronize your store, little store, when it was on Hayden Greenway Parkway, and wander in there and see what you had on the racks.
I remember you.
A few years ago, I was there, and I bought 3 pairs of these, different style. This is the last one. And, obviously they are spikeless. And what's happening is that it's all wearing down. So these are on their last gasp, because when the courses start watering like they're doing now, after they've done the punching, sometimes when I step, I actually slide. So I really need, you're on a little slope and those really won't grab enough. So I certainly need something with more. I had some Pro Shop credits, so it wasn't from you, but I found these, what the heck are they? Skechers. and they've got more of it. And the thing is, as several have pointed out, they have to be comfortable for walking, because I try to walk as many of the courses as I can. And with plantar fasciitis and with neuropathy, as you get older, you need something that'll support you, not soft. There's a conception on spongy thing. You really don't. My podiatrist says you really want something hard. And these Adidas were hard. And that's why I was comfortable walking in them forever. The most comfortable shoe I've ever had were these Dexters from way back when. And I still can put them on, although they're starting to tear and other stuff. And width is not an important thing to me, just a normal width is that. But the important thing, again, is that support and not sponginess. I find that a lot of times what I do is I rip out the insole, and I have these hard orthotic insoles, not custom, but some that my podiatrist recommended, and I shove them in there. And that supports my foot throughout the 18 holes versus something spongy, and you think it's great for the first hole or two, and that's it. So that's kind of, what I look at. As a tribute to my father, I picked up a pair of these because he actually worked for the Eaton Shoe Company many, many years ago. So, they're comfortable enough. Yeah. The nice thing is I used to be able to come up there and try them on.
With the pandemic, we had moved to by Costco there, so we're still.
Oh, I know you.
Still pop in.
Yeah, I saw you.
Yeah. For people with plantar fasciitis and any kind of foot issues, we've noticed that there are more. Echo was really well known for having a higher arch support and really comfort and a very structured shoe that could solve the pains that we experience in our feet. And I noticed that there's more manufacturers, kind of going in that direction for comfort with plantar fasciitis issues or heel spurs, which is good to know that they are moving in that direction. So Alex, thanks for the share, and I love those Econics, old school. Yeah. And those old Footjoys. I love it. Love it. Peter, Scherf?
The Scherf right again. I'm actually doing your shirts. I haven't bought shoes from you, but I love the shirts. And I love the Donald Ross, especially because there's no logos on it. And until I get a deal like some of the people on the tour get, I refuse to wear any logos until Ralph Lauren, I'm not walking, I'm not marrying a horse with a man on a stick or a horse with a whatever, unless he pays me. So my go-to outfit of any kind is no logos, and the Donald Ross stuff is, Monty said, is spectacular clothing. It fits well, it wears well. This is one of the ones off the premium thing. I don't love the color, but everybody else loves it, so I put it on today for you.
It looks good on you.
Yeah, it does actually. It's not bad actually.
It looks really, really good with that silver hair, those red glasses. You look very distinguished.
Well, now my problem is, compared to everybody else who's in North Carolina and California, I live in New York City, so storage is an option. So I have one pair of golf shoes. I mean, I'll wear them for a year and then maybe change to another one. I just have one pair. It's what you do in New York. Your closet space is a premium, and we have a large apartment. But my wife has the storage space. She has 4 pairs of golf shoes. I have one. But what I love, and I actually didn't buy them from you, these are Footjoys. And again, there is a logo, but you can scarcely see it, and it's like blended in. And these are what they call the Hyperflex, which I think is last year's model. Mm-hmm. And I've been a Footjoy lover when I buy golf shoes and don't play in sort of sneakers and stuff. Is I love, as others have said, the width of the shoe. I have a wide-ish foot, maybe not quite as wide as Glenn's, but it is wide in any event, and the Footjoys are really comfortable. These are sort of semi-waterproof, at least water resistant. It's a great shoe. I used to wear, in the old days when I would play and I had more than one pair, I did have 2 pairs once. I suddenly found out that Footjoy made sort of shoes for regular day wear, a casual shoe. So I thought, wow, my golf shoes are so comfortable. And I ended up buying, sort of Footjoy loafers because they're just so comfortable. But it's mostly because of the width and the structure. And these have got the spikes.
Yes.
But really good. I love Footjoy. And when I buy my next pair of shoes, which is probably a year and a half away, I'll make sure you have Footjoys on the register and I'll buy them. In the meantime, I'll keep buying the shirts and the quarter zips that I like.
Sure. I love it.
So that's my story.
It's been fascinating to see the transformation from Footjoy from a couple of years ago to where they are now.
Right.
And with styling, they've become more in sync with current trends and fashion trends.
But when I had the correspondence with Cole and with you about if you wanted me to show the shoe on the webinar, and I said, well, the shoes were in the back of the car. My wife had the car when she was out of town. And so I went to look for a picture of them. I couldn't find this brand on any website. So maybe it was last year's, maybe it didn't work, but it's pretty good. It's a Hyperflex. It's a sort of rubbery type of finish.
Oh, fantastic. I appreciate you sharing all that, Peter.
Okay, thank you.
That's awesome. Michael O'Connor, good to see you.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. Hi, folks. So I didn't get the memo about actually having my shoes sitting here with me, but I'll talk through it. So I have become kind of a Footjoy loyalist myself, and I'm another one of the guys in the group wearing a Donald Ross polo that I think came from you guys. Not sure. I have probably.
It doesn't have a logo. It came from us.
It does not have a logo, but I probably have 12 of these shirts now. They are awesome, and they run big, and I'm a big fella. So
I think next we're gonna do a Donald Ross webinar.
Yeah, I just bought 2 more of these shirts, I think last night from you guys. So they should be coming any day, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm wearing the Footjoy, the Super Lights right now, which are a really, really comfortable shoe. That's a big thing I also walk quite a bit. I wore the Pro SLs for a while. They're honestly just a little too heavy for me. And I went from those, I was wearing a pair of the Flexes as well after that. And those were also a little bit on the too flexible side for me. Those are like almost like not wearing shoes. So those things kind of bounce. The Super Lights are kind of awesome because they're really lightweight, but they've got some rigidity to them that, hold up really well and kind of in like the same kind of mold as the Pro SL, just a little bit lighter. So I really love those shoes, and they're at a very, very cheap price point for Footjoys, especially. I mean, they're a really high quality shoe for, I think they're only $100 at full retail. So, yeah, but I think I've bought 3 or 4 pairs of shoes from you guys that I don't think the Super Lights, I don't think came from you, but they,
that's okay.
No, it's I'm all about, and I also, I don't think anyone said this yet, but I wear 15s at least. So finding shoes that are the right size is kind of a premium for me. So that's always a challenge, right? 15s are usually hard to come by. So I kind of, whenever I see them, I got to grab them.
We have a lot of Footjoy fans.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there, which is good. They make a great product. You can't deny it. Can't deny it. Wonderful. Well, thanks for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So next we're going to have Vince, and then we're going to have Joe. Vince Boschman, you're up.
Hey guys, thanks for sharing all of your insights and wisdom about golf shoes. I don't have a pair with me here to show you, but first off, I'm from Winnipeg in Canada, right in the middle of Canada, and we've got a lot of different weather. I like to walk whenever I can walk. I go on golf trips every year. I was in Bandon last year, and we played 13 rounds in 8 days, so puts a lot of wear on the golf shoes. And I really like the Adidas. I've got the Code Chaos. I've got 3 or 4 different kinds. They all fit a little bit different, but they're all still really, really comfortable. So that's sort of been my go-to. I like the fact that the technology is really cushy, and I never have any problems really with sore feet or things like that when I've played with those. I used to wear a lot of the Echo, but I found my feet got a little bit more sore. They weren't quite as cushy as the Adidas. So lately I've just been an Adidas guy, just really like that technology and all of the different models they have.
Yeah, they do an amazing job, especially within the sport industry itself. See, one thing I just want to point out to you, Vince, is that if you can see that, I can.
Yep.
But this light strike midsole here, comprised with the Boost technology, for anybody who's looking for comfort, the Adidas making an unparalleled comfort shoe. Period. So this light strike, just what I want to share with you, this light strike midsole was really designed for the NBA, for professional basketball, because it's designed for explosive movement, both lateral movement, and they wanted something where the midsole could perform at any. Imagine a basketball player just like pivoting back and forth at all times, but having something that is can be flexible but sturdy enough to move with the player. And then they took that, incorporated into the golf shoes, which is quite fascinating. And it's super light.
Is that in most of their new models now, or in specific ones?
Most of the new models, yes. Most of their mid to higher end models, yeah.
Right. Awesome.
Yeah. Amazing what to do. Well, thanks for sharing that. I love it, Vince.
No problem.
Comfort. Joe, I love it.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hi, Paul. How you doing?
Are you golfing now? Is that your golf attire? That does not look like a Donald Ross golf shirt.
No, man. It's construction. I'm wearing the crazy orange, but yeah, no. I wish I had a job where I could wear golf stuff all the time. I would be a very, very happy man. But unfortunately, you got to do what you got to do.
Absolutely.
So yeah, just hello everybody. I'll just kind of speak quickly because I am on my lunch break here, but I really wanted to attend. So yeah, just kind of echo some other people's points. I'm not huge for like comfort and of course those things are important, but that's kind of not the first thing I look for. I am a big Adidas guy. I know we have quite a bit of Footjoy guys, and you just kind of find something you like. And I also have kind of a plethora of different shoes that I wish I could have brought and shown, but can only really manage to keep one on me right now. So I actually just bought these not too long ago. It's the Adidas Cross retros. Mm-hmm. And I actually bought two pairs. I bought the blue pair originally, and then I saw these on and I saw black, and the price points, of course, it just hooks me right in where I'm not able to. Sorry, that's coworker. I think I have to go back to work soon. Yeah, so I just really enjoy them. I don't walk very much. I go for leisure, not for exercise. I'm on my feet quite a bit. So the biggest thing for me is kind of just having a simplistic style to it with something. I prefer the spikeless. I do have different ones, like a lot of people, depending on the weather. I'm here in Toronto as well, locally, so it does kind of change. Hey, Warren, if you ever need a partner to go down to Florida, let me know. But yes, I would have a whole closet dedicated to different shoes. I mean, as a kid, I was a skateboarder, so I always had many different styles of shoes. That was my niche. And now I'm a bit older, I can't do that anymore. So now I've moved on to golf, and I'm starting to build up the collection. And yeah, the girlfriend never misses a chance to make fun of me for sure. So
it's good. Those retro shoes are quite fantastic. It's a great shoe because it's kind of a court inspired golf shoe, which you can wear, on and off the course. And Alex, that might be a good shoe for you if we still have some available. That retro shoe. It's kind of similar to the Adi Cross.
100%. I love wearing them in the clubhouse. Normally, if I'm wearing cleats or something like that after a round, I might go change them before I go in the clubhouse. But with something like this, it's very universal. And yeah, it's very comfortable for me. And like I said, no complaints. So it's just a really, really great shoe. I like it a lot. I've only managed to use it a couple times so far this year, but everything I have gotten. I'm sorry?
Are they wide? They come in a wide size?
They're pretty wide. I find it's a little bit tighter, obviously, around the heel and things. So it tightens up and gives you that nice support. But then the foot and the toe are much wider in the base. So I like it. But again, I know I don't generally walk a course as much, so I don't know how much pressure those would potentially put on you. But I've never had an issue with them being uncomfortable wearing them even after the round.
Joe, would you show that shoe again, the front of the shoe?
Sure.
Like this?
Yep. You want to see the front of the shoe? Yeah. So you can see it's a bit thinner
So-
here towards the base of the heel and everything, which I like. Gives you a bit more support, but then it has a wider toe range. So again, Paul, like you said, they are very comfortable. So
Alex, just for you, Alex, just some of the shoes that you'll find is that you have shoes that are what's called a blucher system. This is not a blucher system where the lacing goes all the way down and the tongue, where you could really widen where you could really widen the toe box. Where this type of lacing system is really restrictive because it affects your instep here and it doesn't allow you to get that extra width where you might need it. So just something to mention. That lacing system does come in handy. Thanks, Joe.
thank you very much, Paul. Unfortunately, I don't think I can stay. I got to go back to work, but I'm glad I got to join and share my thoughts and to hear everybody else's as well. So
wonderful.
But thank you for having me on.
You're welcome. Thank you. James, you're up next, and then we're going to have Eddie Brown on there.
Take care, everybody.
Chen. Thanks, Joe. Have a great day.
Hi, everyone, and thank you, Paul, for inviting all of us to get together and talk about things that we love.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I'm 6'9", so for me, finding golf shoes is super tough. I'm fortunate enough to squeeze into a 15, but 16 is where my bread and butter is. But right now I'm just sticking my feet into a 15 because it works. First and foremost, my first pair of shoes actually weren't shoes; they were like slippers. I had to find it from like Amazon. It was ridiculous until I actually found your site, and this was my first pair of golf shoes. It's the Performance Classic from Adidas with the Boost technology, which I absolutely adore. It's super comfortable. Loved it so much. Bought a second pair. And, from there, I kind of also continued browsing because like Michael said, when you're able to find a size, you have to get it because it's a rarity. So the second one I actually got was the Code Chaos, the last year's model, but it's great. Use this when, like all those other folks that we're talking about, wearing shoes in, strange weathers when you have all kinds of wet weather. You definitely do something that's weatherproof, which I absolutely enjoy. And my last pair I want to kind of share with you is my current driver. It is the Footjoy's Hyperflexes. I think these are this year's model. It's super soft, mainly nylon, very, very comfortable, but it doesn't like most folks that have really soft shoes. It doesn't give you a ton of support. So I usually wear these when I know it's going to be an easy walk. Another thing I want to mention, really important, is the additional stuff that you guys sell on your site. First and foremost, pants, like golf pants. It's almost impossible for me to find. And for me to be able to buy like the Adidas, it's the Climate 365s or 360s, like amazing. Right away, I bought like a couple of pairs, loved them, tried to find more, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh no, I can't find my size.
What size are you?
I wear a 44-34.
44-34. Okay. I'm gonna find some for you because we got some Nikes coming in.
Oh man, like
the Vapors.
Honestly, for me, if I can find the pants, I'm gonna buy it because it's just hard to find things in my size, especially, for a regular retail store. It's almost impossible for me to find stuff in my size because, who really accommodates for folks that are like really tall. So, big fan.
Sorry, Jerry. Cole and Paige, if you can just take note of that. Let's get some 44-34s for James there, okay? One of our team members.
I wear that size too, so you got me too.
Do you?
Yes, Michael. Yes.
Yeah, I love it.
Tall people unite.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So we'll take care of you. No worries. We'll make sure we'll get awesome. We'll place some custom orders. We'll get them for you. We'll turn it around very quickly too.
That's amazing. Yeah. so it's not just the shoes that you guys provide, it's, you know, everything. And right now you're my one-stop shop. And I could tell you, I rave to all my friends that I golf with about you guys. And like, if you guys need anything, this is the place to shop. Be a preferred member because the benefits are worth it. And, you know, you just get stuff one at a time, and you guys keep updating your inventory, and it's great because, you know, I'm always a little bit of a shopaholic, and I do enjoy seeing new things. And, you know, like you said today about the Rebel Cross with the additional support, that definitely intrigues me because I used to play basketball and now kind of transitioning away from that into golf. You know, I definitely love that support. So thank you.
You might enjoy that shoe. So anyways, I'll share it later, but that's great. This is awesome. We do have mid 15s.
Yep.
Actually, did you know that this is built on the iconic Yeezy Last?
What?
Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting.
So, something that a lot of we're trying to get more insider information. So, but we'll touch base in a second. Eddie, thanks for sharing, James. That's awesome. Eddie Brown III. We can't hear you. You just have to unmute yourself. There we go. Now, Eddie, we can't hear you. On the bottom left of your screen, there should be a little mute button.
Is that it?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, good. Good morning, Paul, or good afternoon.
Good morning.
I've been listening to most of the folks, and I think the history of the golf shoe itself is important. Why Footjoy was such a leader in the industry was because of the last, which is the heel. And they found a way to fit about 90% of the people that bought shoes from them. And the last was called the Rex last. But what it did, it also had a pointed toe, or not a rounded toe, like you were talking about the Blucher, which even though it fit, it crumbled. Your toes got squinched on the in the shoe. So then I remember talking to Dick Tarlow, and I said, you know what? If you could do a shoe like they have one called the Aintree Last, but it was a wider heel, and it didn't fit the 90% of the folks. So I asked him if he could do a Rex Last with a Blucher, more rounded toe. It would give people more foot room, more toe room, and they started doing those things. So the other thing that made their shoe very popular, and when you first put them on, it felt like you're putting your foot into the glove. It was, if I had a 10.5D, it fit perfect. And both shoes fit perfect. And the reason for that is because when they made a pair of shoes, they took one piece of hide and cut the right and the left out of that same piece, which makes a big difference because you got the same quality leather in both shoes. And there's not a coarser feel or a softer feel. It was the same feel in both shoes. And the other thing was there was a company that came out that I loved their shoe because it did everything that it fit in the heel, it fit in the arch, and it felt like a deep shoe compared to most shoes. And that was Bites, B-I-T-E-S.
Oh, I remember them.
They lasted about 10 years, I think. I don't know if they're still in business. I haven't been able to find any, but that's the pair that when I do get a chance to play, I still have them. And I mean, to me, it's comfort in walking plus stability. And I think when I grew up, I'm probably older than most of the people on here, you always wore a leather shoe. I mean, and they were built by, craftsmen. And then I remember as a caddy, I got into wearing Chuck Taylor's Converse low-cut tennis shoe. And I caddied in those. Well, they were so comfortable for me that I wore them in November when it was like snowing and people thought I was poor. Why don't his parents buy him a pair of shoes? And I'm looking today, and most golf shoes look like those Converse. So I'm thinking, boy, they have come a long way away from what a golf shoe looked like and how it was structured. And I think what happened during the evolution is people, their foot started spreading because they started wearing softer shoes. So as generations came on the scene, the shoes got wider and softer instead of sturdier and fit in the heel and fit in the across the toes. So to me, if somebody could produce a shoe that was like the Bite, that was probably the most comfortable pair of golf shoes I've ever worn. And then I went to the Echo, and I felt like after wearing the Bites that the shoe was too shallow. I felt like when I take a step, I was going I felt like my heel would pop out of the back of it. But so I think the comfort part plus stability, as opposed to comfort and soft, because your foot's just going to keep spreading if you're walking that amount of time and distance. Your foot's going to keep spreading because there's nothing there to support it. And I've always been a firm believer that I only have one pair of wheels. So I remember in the golf business, there was a company called Right Arch Preservers. And I remember I was standing on my feet all day in the golf shop. So I would take, and I ordered a pair of those shoes, and they almost looked, this is back in the 60s, 70s. They almost look orthopedic, but I wore them anyway because they gave me the support I needed. And fortunately today I don't have any foot problems or foot issues. So I think stability is the number one thing, along with comfort secondary. But if you have a stable shoe, your foot's going to adjust to it, as opposed to having it spread out over a cushy thing. So that's my input on the shoe thing. And I do love the shirts. Donald Russ, I remember when they first came out, I almost became a sales rep for them. Another Monahan was the head of the National Golf Salesmen's Association. He said, "Brownie, you ought to take this line." So I had already had another thing, and another opportunity came up, and I didn't. But I love their product. It drapes nice, it hangs nice, it washes nice, it feels good, and they wear well. So I'm. You got me.
They absolutely do.
And I'm big around Christmas time. That's when I do most of my business.
Yeah. Well, Eddie, thanks so much for sharing your insight and some of the information about the history of the shoes. That's fantastic.
Yeah, it's I've been in the golf. I've been a PGA member for 52 years, so it's I've seen a lot come and go. So yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thanks again. That's wonderful. I hope a lot of people.
I think. And by the way, the fellow you have in Phoenix, Cole. Yes. He is an asset. I mean, if I had another business, I'd steal him from you.
It's not the first time I've heard that.
Good. Yeah, he's a good guy for you. He really is. You know.
I appreciate it. And listen, our we're here. We're here for you guys. That's what we want to do. We're here for you guys.
Oh, I got one other thing that I would share. It's not a complaint, but when stuff comes to me out of Canada, like I just ordered something from Dress Codes, I have a P.O. box, and I've had it for 16 years where I live, and that's how we get things up here. There's no place. If I gave you a physical address, they drop it on the street because you can't get in. So the post office down the street gives me a mailbox because they can't deliver here. It's an impossibility. So they keep saying that, but the UPS and the FedEx people deliver to the post office up here. So I put on the P.O. box and I just go over there and pick it up, or they'll call me and tell me you got a package. Right. So it's one of those things that I've texted or emailed Marie, I believe it is, in Canada, And we got around at one time, they just sent it to Phoenix, and then Cole sent it over here, and I get it because I received everything from you from Phoenix, so I have no problem.
So Cole, just take a note there for Eddie, so we can just change it, update his information on dress code, so we have a way we'll send it by Canada Post if it comes from Toronto to you in the U.S. and that goes by mail.
Canada's shy about sending to a PO box, and the U.S. isn't. So yeah. But I do get it. I get everything. All right.
We'll make
it simple for you. Basically, yeah. I love the site. I love what you guys are doing, and I'll be a customer.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Brady. Derek.
Hey, Paul.
Thanks again.
Hey, Paul. Hey, guys.
Derek.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Tell us about the hat first. Swilcan.
Oh, yeah. I was just over across the pond. Just came back on Wednesday. Lucky enough to get my sticks shipped there and back. So not mixed up in the big pile of mess in Edinburgh Airport. I don't know if y'all saw that. It's nuts.
That was the best.
I was just on the phone with the president of J. Lindenberg, and he was just telling me about the mess that it was there.
Oh, it's
delays.
Yeah, it was nutty. I was fortunate enough. I mean, I didn't leave there until Wednesday, so I guess it took them a little time. But they had to rent out an airport or a warehouse just to move all that stuff. So, buddy of mine, his sticks were left back in Edinburgh. You know, we could see it when we landed. We take a look at our air tags, see what's what. Mine was with me, but and I had to transfer it through Toronto, which was another nightmare, but it wasn't too bad. Got on the flight after my flight to Vancouver, where I am. So yeah, I mean, I picked up this hat in the open shop. It's one of those if you know type of things, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so thought that was pretty nifty. So yeah, I mean, a couple of shoes that my go-to shoes that I brought on my trip were my Adidas. I got the prime knit ones, which weren't great, in the rain, but it didn't rain too much there. So yeah, I mean, these were the first shoes that I tried with Boost in them, and they were just so comfortable. So I like that they have the spikes in them as well. So but with these shoes, I'd only be playing in dry weather. So spikeless in this would be a good feature. I don't think it really needs the spikes. I got the 360 Boost in these ones. These ones definitely need I wore these much more in the rain, held up pretty good, super comfortable. But like everybody else says, the heel part is a little bit stiff, and I do find that I need to either find some thicker socks or put some band-aids on the back of my heels a little bit. Even the prime knit, if I'm wearing too low of socks, the back here, it does get a little bit irritating if I don't have material in between there. So it would have been nice if they just kind of cut off the sock part of that, but I mean that's a couple of years old now. A couple of other shoes, like, I mean, the best grip I ever had was actually these Nike Zooms. I don't know if they don't make those patterns anymore, right? So that pattern, I found I got the best grip out of them. Those are kind of out of commission now because I've worn them so much. And another pair of shoes that I like to wear as well, just for a casual round, maybe 9 holes or not even on the golf course. They're not the greatest in support or anything, but I've got these Tomos as well. I don't know if you guys have heard of these guys. Super soft, not much in grip. They could do a little bit better in kind of the grip in this, but wearing them around, they're just super casual, super soft, and pretty good looking as well.
I like it.
Yeah, so
it looks
they're
like
more of a boutique brand. and they've done some collaborations with other companies as well. And I think they're trying to make a name for themselves as well.
Yeah, I think it's one of the challenges with these up and coming brands compared to the big companies is the research and development that someone like Adidas puts into or Nike puts into their shoes, especially Adidas and Footjoy. I mean, like Adidas has been really forward about creating something fascinating and really user friendly for golfers of all calibers.
Yeah, I'm full board. I've got like probably 6 pairs of Adidas golf shoes now, just because their price points have been pretty good in terms of when they go on sale. For myself, I mean, price point is probably still the number one thing that I look at. I would love to go out and buy these $300 Footjoy Tour shoes or G4 Golf or whatever, but I just don't have that budget for it. I've got kids need to eat before I get to golf, right? So I'm looking for deals, and that's why I'm always scanning through Golf Anything.
Well, thank you for that. We're grateful. We're here. I'm glad we're here for you. Like that you're finding things.
Yeah, the only thing is, I've been scouring your site for a long time, always looking at your Galvin Green stuff, because by far it's the best price anywhere, period. But the sizes are meant for James. The stuff that's left.
Well, so with brands that are so tightly guarded, it's like Donald Ross. It took us 7 years to get it, and then we had Galvin Green. Then they changed their distribution model, and then we're still fighting. We fight every quarter to get it.
Yeah,
and we fight until they break. I'm gonna get it back, more of it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, it's got to be. They can't be too happy that you're selling at half the prices of every other discount places either. So. But I'll keep on looking. I'll keep on checking back in.
We just fight for those opportunities because we fight them for you guys, right? We want those opportunities. Like I would want them. Yeah, we want them for you guys. So that's great. Well, thanks for sharing that. Amy, are you there? Amy Stasiak.
Hi.
Hi, Amy. Welcome.
Can you hear me? Oh, thank you. Yeah. I am in Lethbridge, Alberta, Canada. And thanks for inviting me to participate.
So let's tell everybody where Lethbridge, Alberta is, because I know where it is, but a lot of people may not know where Lethbridge.
It's 2 hours south of Calgary. I'm sure most people would know where Calgary is. So I golf normally about 3 times a week. And for me, comfort is probably the most important. And I was a real fan of Echo golf shoes, but they seem to have changed the style of their shoes, and the sizes seem to be different. I had ordered a pair because I try to order a pair of Echoes every year. So, after about 3 years, they're not really great for golfing anymore. So, but I found that the sizing was different. So really? I haven't found another pair of Echoes. So I've gone to the Adidas, and really comfortable. These are the ones I ordered earlier in the spring, and they're the Summer Vent. Really lightweight, but not waterproof. Really comfortable right from the start. And then I just last week got these ones. I haven't worn them yet. They still have the tag on them. They are the Adidas Alpha Flex Sport. And I was pleasantly surprised because I thought I might not like them. They were a really good price, so I ordered them. I thought if I don't like them, I can send them back, but I love them. They're waterproof. So I I'm set. I still would like to try Echo again. I love the fact that being a preferred member, you know, if something doesn't fit, I mean, it would be great if I could try it beforehand, before purchasing, but it's no problem to send it back and get a refund or get a credit, whatever. So I really appreciate being able to deal with Golf Anything. I buy a lot of clothes as well, and I'm so happy I found the site.
Well, thank you very much. Again, we're here for you guys, you know, that's my mission.
Great.
It's just to share it. It's just to share it. You're very welcome. Thank you, really. So that kind of wraps it up. And I'd love to hear if there's any questions. Oh, by the way, just with all of you who are preferred members, as we continue to grow our membership community, we are, and you're gonna, this is like first to know, is that we have a lot more fascinating webinars coming up. We are actually diving in deep with some of the manufacturers at the designer level. We are scheduling interviews with the actual designers who designed the shoes and why they designed them in a certain way. And we're going to share that with members. Also, if you didn't see our last webinar that we did with Dr. Don Wood about the psychology with regarding golf and the mindset, I think that's an absolutely brilliant one to rewatch if you haven't watched it. He's world renowned. He is a sports psychologist to PGA professionals. And that, just those little tips that he's given me about the mental side of it has just been fascinating, and it's helped my game. Also, we have friends in the golf space, the guys who, for you guys who are techies, like golf club techies, if you're familiar with KBS Shafts, if you know who they are, like that stands for Kim Braley Shafts. He's a close friend of mine. We're going to do a webinar with him about how chefs can benefit any player of any handicap and what they should look for. And also a friend of mine, Mark Timms from Cool Clubs, who's probably considered one of the best fitters in the best fitters organization in North America. They've been around for 20 years, and they were the very first ones. They pioneered taking the tour experience with what PGA Tour players experienced on the tour at each event, and then transferred that into the experience for average, for us average golfers or amateur golfers. So that'll be exciting webinars coming up that you can also, there'll be a lot of Q&As. And that's going to be for all you members. And it's all free for you guys. And if anybody has any questions or suggestions that you want to ask, fire away. Any criticisms, I take it pretty good.
Oh, you mentioned about Jay Lindbergh, you're getting more in, you said?
Yes.
Awesome. I'll be there. I just picked up something yesterday, so from you.
Yes. We just got, we're going to have a nice, healthy shipment coming in.
Good. I need some shorts.
Paul, here's a question for you, Paul. Do you have any plans to get into golf clubs in the future?
I keep toying with that because I used to be a club fitter, and golf shafts was my expertise way back in the day. I think what we're going to do is that we're going to have it available for members to buy at favorable pricing. Or if they want something, we'll service them that way from the brands that we can connect with, like Adidas, TaylorMade, Titleist, Cobra.
Ping?
No, that's not going to be, no, Ping's difficult. Because there are no deals on Ping.
Right. Okay, thanks.
Hey, Paul.
But we can't. Yes, Alex.
I just want to give a thanks to Eddie Brown. He reminded me of something. I have a pair of Bites in the closet, and I'm out and give them a try. I haven't worn them in several years. And like he was saying, I really love the fit of them, and I got them at Costco.
That's fascinating. We got to look into the history of that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, they were there for a while, then never saw them again. I picked up a pair. They're very wide. They look like a typical Oxford, brown and white. and they had a great fit. And I just somehow got into all these other shoes. I'm going to go pull them out and try them next week.
Sometimes these people come up with this
good.
risk. Yeah.
Paul, the one thing that I forgot, a lot of people wear orthotics, and that's another reason why the deeper shoe feels probably secure on your foot, as opposed to a shoe that's shallow. And you put an orthotic in it, then you feel like you're just going to walk right out of them. So it's I think they might have that arch support and all that in there. I take that out and put my orthotics in, and then it gives me the room. So that's a tip maybe that might work for some folks.
Yeah. Well, that so people who wear orthotics, Adidas has worked with Ortholite insoles to create some of their insoles to help them with more of that arch support as well. But there is nothing like custom orthotics. I get it. And having a deeper shoe where you can.
I used to watch the Tour Pros at Augusta, and the one thing that I watched that they all had in common was balance at address. And if the shoe isn't secure and you're not comfortable in them, you can't get balance. Yeah. That was the first thing they did before they took the club back, was they all got balanced. And we're watching that a lot. So footwear is important.
Wonderful. Any other questions? Anyone? Comments? Desires? Last but not least, I did notice that not many people mentioned Nike shoes, Puma shoes. It was just kind of fascinating that the top shoe brands that we found were Adidas, Footjoy, Echoes. Did I miss anything?
I think that's largely due to what you offer on your website.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's we're working on it. We got Nikes coming in next week. We'll have Pumas coming in. So we have we're possibly to get True. We're working on what True Links wear. Have you heard of them?
I've got a pair of True Links that were True Links cross with Link Sole shoes. Those are real nice too. But what type of Nikes are you bringing in? Can you say?
Yeah, no, we got the Roche coming in, some of the Infinity shoes as well, and Victory shoes.
Nice.
Yep.
Always looking for a deal on those Victories.
Yep, you'll get it coming soon, and Nike apparel too. That's great. Well, if nobody else has any other questions, I want to thank everybody for joining, and this has been wonderful getting to know everybody on a more intimate level. And you can reach out to me, Paul at Golf Anything or Cole at golfanything.com, or any of our team members if you need any support in any way. And we look forward to having our next webinar.
Thanks,
and
Paul.
I really appreciate everybody for joining. This is new for us and new for the industry. And
thanks, Paul. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you got it. Thanks, man.
Take care.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you, Paul.
You got it, guys.
I understand.